Happy birthday, Blake Shelton. Here's to 2 decades of making stories together. Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Happy birthday, Blake Shelton. Shelton turned 49 years old on June 18. I've been writing about him half of his life and more than half of mine. Everyone's 6'5" tall country music singing Oklahoman released his chart-topping debut single Austin in 2001. And while the song was a huge smash that 24 years later, he still can't leave the stage without playing, he was known as much for his mullet as the heartwarming Love Gone Right ballad. I met him for the first time during a video shoot at Springwater, a bar in Nashville, a couple of years later. He had an album called Barn and Grill and filled the bar with his farm animals. Shelton just loped around, amused as everyone else about the critters in the bar. His dogs trotted around like they owned the place. There was a horse trailer filled with goats, and I held his one-eyed chicken as he had to deliver romantic one-liners to another chicken sitting on the bar. 20 years later, I switched careers. I left journalism and went into artist management. It was a new management company. The pandemic hit, and for a variety of reasons, the job didn't work out. My doctor doubled my Wellbutrin, and I spent 2 months couch rotting, watching Netflix, clueless about my career or my next move. Shelton's team called. They wanted a story in USA Today, and they wanted me to write it. I no longer worked for USA Today, but I called USAT and offered them the story. They took it. I helped Blake Shelton's one-eyed chicken. We conducted a recorded Zoom interview, during which Shelton's wife, Gwen Stefani, made a surprise appearance. The clips generated hundreds of thousands of views. I wrote the story, and thanks to Shelton, my byline was back in USA Today. Then Garth Brooks' team pitched me a story for USA Today, and they took that too. Teen Shelton got me off the couch and back to work at one of the lowest points in my life. What happened in between was years of showing up when it counted. It was Shelton's first interview after his high-profile second divorce. Happy birthday, Blake Shelton. He's now 49 years old. This is what happens when you spend 25 years writing about country music's favorite funkle, listening as he gushed about Stefani and honestly worried if the country music community would ever accept his new love. The story unfolded beautifully. I think the headline was something like, Blake Shelton finds grace in God, Gwen Stefani. Readers ate it up. 1 year later, I went and hung out with him and Luke Bryan on the set of The Voice. Bryan was a mentor that year. I spent the day fairly convinced Shelton would get food poisoning. He loves calamari and walked by the catering table all day, popping the deep-fried tentacles into his mouth. How long does that stay good? 2 days later, I met him backstage at the People's Choice Awards for an interview about life in California and his time spent on The Voice. He wasn't pleased with the freshwater fishing options, and he really wanted to win The Voice. He wouldn't go to his seat until Stefani arrived. When she did, she looked like an ethereal pop goddess in light blue. Blake Shelton's dedication to young artists. Shelton teamed up with Ryman Hospitality to open a chain of bars, restaurants, and entertainment venues, which he named Ole Red. Nashville was the first location, and Shelton's goal for the multi-story space was for it to have some of the best sound and one of the nicest stages in town. He remembers what it's like to be an up-and-coming artist and have to play questionable spaces. He wants Ole Red to be a safe space for singers. After it opened, we met there for interviews most of the time. One of my favorite memories was showing up to chat, and Stefani was there. Shelton and I were talking about something, and she was hanging out, sweetly chiming in occasionally. Shelton said, "You know, this is an interview. Cindy is interviewing me." She was horrified. She said, "I thought she worked for us. Why am I even here?" Shelton said, "She's safe, but this is still an interview." Stefani left. She might be one of the most well-known music stars of a generation, but in my experience, Stephanie is as friendly and unassuming as it gets. Now, it's common on Nashville's Lower Broadway, but at the time, it was an anomaly. Shelton and I watched out the window as a cart claiming to sell marijuana set up across the street from Ole Red. We were certain it would be surrounded by the police and shut down at any moment. We never saw that happen, but the cart was gone when I left. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Voice News 24.